After the international break, the Premier League was back for its fourth round of matches, and although all teams were back in action, there was only really one game people were interested in, with tickets being sold for record prices. That game was, of course, Brentford versus Brighton at the Brentford Community Stadium. Okay, we're just kidding. It was, of course, the return of the man himself, Cristiano Ronaldo, who was back at Old Trafford for the first time in 12 years, and the unfortunate victims in this game that looked done before it had even started were Newcastle, who would yet to get a win this season. I think you know which way this one is going. Everyone was waiting for that iconic celebration to return, and just before the stroke of half-time it would, with Ronaldo back on the score sheet after 45 minutes of his return to Manchester. However, Newcastle would come back fighting, with Javier Manquillo, of all people, scoring his first goal for the club to level things up. However, just 6 minutes later, Ronaldo would be back to score at the Stratford end and help take United into a 4-1 victory and put them top of the table. Let's be honest, no matter what team you support, it was cool to see, unless you're a Newcastle fan on this occasion, but otherwise, it was great for the Premier League. That wasn't the only football game on last weekend, in case you forgot. There were some other big games, which included title contenders going head-to-head. Over at the King Power Stadium, Leicester welcomed Man City, and despite a somewhat lacklustre start to the season, it was Leicester who would have the better of the chances. Harvey Barnes hit the crossbar after a great ball in from Jamie Vardy, and the latter would then score, only to have his goal disallowed after his toenail was offside. VAR, right? But as they often do, if you don't take your chances against City, eventually they will strike, and Bernardo Silva was in the right place at the right time to take City's third win of the season. One of the most talked about teams before last weekend was Chelsea, that being very much down to the signing of Romelu Lukaku from Inter Milan. Chelsea's new number 9 has been earning his shirt number, and that was proven once more with two clinical finishes in either half to help Chelsea to a 3-0 win against Aston Villa. There would be plenty of chances for Villa, but Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings were unable to convert, with Mendy making some tremendous saves. That result leaves Chelsea with 10 points along with United, and they are both joined by Liverpool and Everton, who had Leeds and Burnley for company. Both would score 3 to go and take wins, with Mo Salah reaching his 100th goal in the Premier League. However, it wasn't all smiles for Liverpool, with Harvey Elliott being taken off after a nasty injury, which will see him undergo surgery, and saw Leeds' Patrick Struijk sent off with a 3-match ban. The teenager applauded the Leeds fans, who showed great respect as he was taken off, and later posted on social media that it wasn't Patrick's fault. Great sportsmanship all round. Meanwhile, over at Goodison Park, there would be plenty of applause as they scored 3 goals in the space of just 6 minutes in the second half after going 1-0 down to Burnley. Yes, that's how you respond. Before we go through the rest of the results, we'll take a look at how Tottenham would suffer their first defeat of the season. Overall, it's fair to say it was a pretty woeful performance from Spurs, who had just 2 shots the entire game. In their frustrations, Japhet Tanganga pushed Wilfried Zaha over before a diving tackle a few minutes later got him sent off for an early bath, and that opened the floodgates, with Palace converting a spot kick just 18 minutes later courtesy of Zaha. However, the talks were all about new signing Odsonne Edouard, who came on for his debut for the club and scored within seconds before adding to that in extra time to make it 3 for Palace. Okay. So what else happened? Well, Arsenal finally got some points on the board after beating Norwich 1-0 despite 30 shots on target. Yes, that's right, 30. Wolves bagged their first points of the season with a 2-0 win over Watford. Brighton scored in extra time to continue their tremendous start to the season, which sees them 6th in the league. Come on the Seagulls. And whilst there were no goals in the Southampton-West Ham match, Mikel Antonio was sent off, leaving the Hammers without their top scorer of the league for the next 3 games. Our goal of the week and potentially goal of the season goes to Andros Townsend, who scored an absolute screamer from outside the box for Everton. And as we prepare to do it all over again this weekend, our game to watch is Tottenham versus Chelsea, with Tottenham looking to fight back after last week's disappointment and Chelsea unbeaten so far this season. This London derby could be a very good clash. That's all for this week. I've been Chris McCarthy. If you like what you've seen here, give it a like, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. We'll see you again soon here on Weekly Football News. That's full time.